Hello students, good morning to everyone, my dear viewers, colleagues and students of class 10th. I welcome you once again within this online lecture series. Hope you are all well among your respective homes, doing well, connected to the books, and you are getting the absolute advantage of these video lectures to compensate this COVID-19 loss. Dear students, let me recapitulate what I was talking to you, what I was discussing with you people. We are nowadays talking about this third chapter of your political science, that's democracy and diversity. Dear students, democracy and diversity. Democracy is a type of the government, and the diversity, a sort of heterogeneity which every country do have. How this democracy is going to accommodate these things, this is our concern within this SAM chapter. And the last subtopic, dear students, which I was discussing with you people, I was talking about the various social differences, how these social differences emerge within the societies, origin of social differences, which are based on sometimes on the birth and sometimes on the choice and sometimes on the status as well. When we talk about the birth, it's when we take birth in a particular family accidentally, that's an accidental case, and some sort of choices when we follow any particular religion on the basis of our own will and wish, we can say then this also creates the social divisions. Lastly, our stats was also responsible for this thing, that how the social stratification creates takes birth within a particular society. When someone is rich and someone is poor, the stats also determines our social strength. So dear students, these were the 2-3 things which I was trying to make you people understand how these social origins of the social difference takes place within a particular society. Later on, this biological variations and this concept on the basis of the race, it was also the concern of my talk last time, which I was discussing to you people, that is really the biological accident. When the moment we take birth in a particular family, it is responsible for this cause, or sometimes we belong to a particular race, it's also the cause for this, or the sociology responsible for this, or this it is a biological concern. So then ultimately we have made this point that both the things are a concern, and both the things do have its role to play to create the social divisions among our societies. Dear students, for this sake, I have today a new situation, a new case with you people. Which is among nowadays among the news which had got its place among the headlines of the international media. Like this person whom we look on the screen, it's the president of the Zimbabwe, Robert Mugabe. Robert Mugabe is the person, he's the president of the Zimbabwe, and nowadays he gave a very tough speech on the same. That's why I quoted and I put forth this extract from his speech here to discuss with you people, to make it relevant, that how this current the world community is looking towards the social divisions, or do we feel that the social divisions are nowadays too existing. Let's try to discuss and to explain our point of view by taking the recent speech given by this great personality, namely Robert Mugabe, who had shocked and jolted the international community and international media. And this news came to the every nook and corner of the country. Media got it was catched by the media, and debate was done, discourse was started on this. Do we feel that social divisions on the basis of races are yet existing or not? So, taking certain lines and certain extracts from his speech, what this great man Robert Mugabe did, he said against this racism, against this discrimination on the basis of races. Exactly, it's having a link to my lecture, what we are trying to describe and to the idea which we are going to build. Dear students, the great man says, the killer speech, what the writers or the media calls him. He says that racism will never end if the people still wear the white cloths to weddings and the black cloths to funerals. Exactly. Let's try to understand, dear students, what the great man is saying. It will never end if the people will wear the white cloths to the weddings. Means when the white color that reflects to the ecstasy, that reflects to the rejoice, that reflects to the enjoyment, that the place where we are supposed to attend the great ceremony, where there is happiness, that's reflected by the color that's white. And the place where there is a gloominess, where there is a pain and pathos, where there is a problem, where there is a killings, where there is a where we have to attend the funerals. So we wear the black, where we have to show the antipathy, where we have to show the gloominess, we wear the black color. Means black color is dominant, it's meant for the span, and the white color is for the sake of prosperity, for the sake of happiness. One point. Point second, the racism will never end as long as the white cars are still using the black tires. Dear students, let's try to understand the terminology. White car, a very beautiful comparison, I must call it. Very best metaphor. When the racism will never come to its end. till the moment the white cars will not shun to use these black tires. The moment they use the black tires, it means that white resembles that it's again the prosperity. It's the upper part. Black tires on the road, rugged every time. It's the black in color. Means black people are rugged every time. They become the victim of the exploitation at the cost of the white. Dear students, I am going to make you understand how this social stratification takes place. How this racism is a skin deep among the people. Point number third, it will never end if the people still use the black symbolize bad luck and the white for the peace. Exactly. Bad for the bad luck, black for the bad luck and white for the peace, prosperity. Racism will never end if the people still wear the white cloths to weddings and black among the funerals, what I said to you earlier. When we are using the white cloths among the weddings and the black as among the funerals, it means that black is subordinate. It's a racism. It's the racism that speaks. So, dear students, this why I quoted this man, this Robert Mugabe to you people from the recent history. The reason is this, that because this man is trying to make understand that in this 21st century, still the cause is there, still the racism prevails there, and this racism, this social division, why the race is one of the element of the social division, it creates blockades, it creates impediments for the sake of prosperity, it creates gaps, and when this overlapping and the cross-cutting differences takes place, so what could be the results? What could be the results, dear students? Let's try to understand these things. What could be the results when this overlapping takes place? Okay, dear students, now let's go ahead. Let's moving ahead. Let's talk here the subtopic today. After taking the certain examples from this great speech of the man called this Robert, this Zimbabwe president, let's talk about this overlapping and this cross-cutting divisions, cross-cutting differences. When this social divisions takes place within a particular society, and it gives birth to the social differences. So the social divisions takes place to the social difference in the society, and it when they overlaps, it creates a chaos and it creates a confusion. For example, the social division is like this, that if we talk about the United States, there are the black peoples, and the black peoples tend to be that they are the poor people, and the white people they are the rich people. So this social division that tagged that they are black in number color and those people are white in color, so it indicates that this black and white gap, black and white determinant creates differences there, that this group remains, every time the black remains poor and the white is trying to progress day by day. Same is the case if you talk about in my country, India. There is one group of the people whom we call Dalits, and Dalits often the number of the Dalits, although that's low, and the color which they do possess, that's black, and they tend to be the weak and the poor, and that gives them the feelings that they belong to different communities, they belong to different section of the society. And in this way, the section creates the stratification among the various hierarchies within the particular societies. Dear students, if social differences cross-cut one another, it's difficult to pit one group of people against the other group. It means that the group that is sharing a common interest on one issue are likely to be indifferent side on the different issues. So if you talk about the Netherlands or you talk about the Northern Ireland, both the people, they are the Christian as a religion following there. So there is a division in their Christianity as well, Roman Catholics and the Protestants. The people who are following the Roman Catholic line, they tend to be poor. So difference on the based on the religion there, that the one who is following the line of the Catholics, they are poor, and the people who are the Protestants, the results is that they are the rich people there. So dear students, when you talk about the social divisions, it creates the competition, it creates the differences in every sort of society, whether it's a rich the big country, whether it's a small country. If you talk about the country like the Belgium, that's a big small country, or we talk about the Sweden, you talk about the Germany or other countries who are the less populated countries. So there is a homogeneous population, there are not so scope for the differences, but still we will see the influx of the people are creating chance there. They're going to these people are moving to other parts of the world. because of this migration. And this migration has changed the complete narratives, it has changed the complete structure of the society, that these differences are deep rooted, and we witness that there is the migration became the cause for this the social clashes, social difference in other countries. That's why in this sense we can say that the most countries of the world are multicultural in this in taste. This time they are multicultural because the people from the different corners came, they try to reside there, and this mass migration from the different corners changed the nature of this small country that's small in population in size. The influx of the migration changed this taste of the people, and they became multicultural in nature. So this multiculturalism, these differences also is difficult to handle in a particular country for some span of time. Now moving ahead, dear students, let's see the politics of these social divisions. When these social divisions takes place, how these social divisions are very difficult for a country to handle. Is this social division a difficult problem? Is this a terrific situation for the country to handle? Or do you feel that it can take sometimes a U-turn, that the leaders of the country, it goes out of the gear situation, and it's very difficult for them to control these situations? But at first sight, it would appear that the combination of the politics and the social divisions is very dangerous and explosive. Democracy involved competition among the various political parties, and their competitions tend to divide the society. If they start competing in terms of the existing social divisions, do we feel that can these social divisions make the political divisions? When this politics is played on the same basis, when the politics is played on the basis of their color, on the basis of their caste or region, do you feel that this politics will give birth to the political clashes and the political divisions, and these political divisions will later on give birth to the various conflicts and the chaoses and the violence? And dear students, let's think on it, that when there is a violation in a particular country, and that's the social in nature, that can give birth to communal clashes as well, and that can disintegrate the country rather. And this happened among the many countries of the world. Let's take a case study. If you talk about the Northern Ireland, dear students, if you talk about the country that's Northern Ireland, that was a problem. The region of the United Kingdom has been for many years as the site of violence and a bitter ethno-political conflict. So dear students, there were the ethno-political conflict, means the conflict on the basis of the races. Ethno means races. In fact, the ethno-political. So means race and politics. It was a chaos. It is a concern for a lot of span of time. Dear students, if you talk about the population, there were two types of the people: Protestants and the Catholics. The Protestants were the number of the Protestants was 53% population, and the Catholics were the 44% in number. So Protestants were 53% and the Catholics were the 43% in number. So there was a clash in the Catholics and the Protestants. The people who were following the Catholics, who were Roman Catholics, they were following the nationalist parties there. And they demanded, what was their demand? Who demanded the Northern Ireland to be unified with the Republic of the Ireland, a predominant Catholic country. So they give birth to this unionist. They talk about that unified with this Republic of the Ireland and the predominance of this of the Catholics. And while as when you talk about the Protestants, they were represented by the unionists who wanted to remain with the United UK, which is predominantly Protestant in nature. So dear students, so there was a clash. One section was thinking to remain with these Catholics, and the second section, whom we call the Protestants, they were represented by the Unionists, and they want to remain with the United Kingdoms. So this sort of clash, this sort of rivalry, this sort of paradoxical situation and the dichotomy among the ideology will give ultimately birth to the situation, and that led to the killing and the death of the different persons in the country, and that consumed the lives of the different people in the country as well. And the conflict between the Unionists and these Catholics and the Protestants in return gave birth to those situations that is very difficult to the people of the country to control. And lastly, there was a sort of treaty that was signed in 1998. Yeah, it is 1998 when the Union government and the Unionist government reached the peace treaty, and they signed a document of peace treaty, and this peace treaty reflected one thing, that how the peace can be prevailed within the country that's called Northern Ireland. So this is the one short example which we can say. The short example proved this thing, that the Unionists, these Catholics and the Protestants, that they were divided on the basis of the social division lines, and these social division lines gave birth to those very clashes, and that very clash took a lot of lives and consumed a lot of people there. Ultimately, that were bound to sign a treaty. The treaty was signed in 1998. So this is the one point which I was highlighting, where we can say that this politics of the social division, yeah, exactly, there is a clash. The social divisionists will give birth to the clash sometimes as well, and the people play politics on those very issues. So this is the one example which I quoted today from the Northern Ireland. Let's meet you once again with a new concept, with the different dimensions of the story. Till then, take care. Khuda Hafiz.